Hi, Misha here, and last time did a travel thing, people liked it, so here we are again. This time it's early in the morning, and we're heading down to Texas to pick up a big load of Swiss chocolate. Or guns, or both. Maybe cats, I don't know, something like that. A load of something. So yeah, we'll be going down, picking that up. I'll be doing updates like last time, and yeah, we're going to be doing an interview with Dave Bump of JDI. There's some questions for the Patreons that'll be on the main Mishaco channel, fun stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see how the day goes. Hopefully the end of this video is good moods and not some weird sequel to Lost Highway. So yeah, we'll do little updates throughout this video as the day goes on, and yeah, be sure to check out the main channel for that interview, and probably we'll do some behind the scenes from the interview on the private personal channel here. With that, we'll move on. And now for the first Blackbox portion of this video, and I'm recording this early Saturday morning, Memorial Day weekend. So a week later. You probably noticed on this personal channel I've only posted 1 or 2 videos this past week because I've been kind of going balls to the wall, sorting out everything and getting stuff done, and kind of just how it goes. But yeah, I wanted to make use, and I did get the interview with Dave posted on the main channel that Sunday, so just a day after, and people seemed to enjoyed it. And I noticed that Robski, aka Operators Union, and James Reeves of the Short Shorts Network reposted it. Much appreciated there, and they seemed to enjoy it. And James picked up my last 300 Blackout, which is good. At first I thought I was sold out, and I was happy I could just say, hey, I did have one more. I sit back in the back for kind of an emergency. So that was neat. And yeah, the last week the response has been good. The guns have been good. But we can talk more about that later. I just wanted to kind of post that. Well, let's go back in time and back on the road. Well, we left Arkansas, so the roads went from decent to god-awful, because yeah, that's Oklahoma roads. So this will be fun. Luckily I don't get car sick. I don't know if a blind person can get car sick. So this is fun. Bouncing. About time to start thinking about where to stop and get some breakfast. Alrighty. Yeah, seriously, the roads, we hit some gnarly potholes. It was, put it like this, my spine and my neck hurt for days afterwards. Now granted, part of it was we were in a 3/4 ton truck hauling a small work trailer, you know, like a little 10-12 foot trailer. So that didn't help, but, you know, hit Arkansas and it was fine. I'm just going to keep complaining about this because it was crazy. I mean, guys, I haven't experienced roads that bad since Russia. And Russia has the excuse of, you know, less money and really shite winters. So, get on that, Texas. I mean, Oklahoma's always known for bad roads, but I couldn't believe that Texas just kind of kept on with the trend. Don't copy it. Don't copy it. Well, the road was so rough, I think we actually went down a train track by accident. But time for some fuel and other kind of fuel, and hey, we're in Oklahoma, so play a couple of rounds of blackjack. Why not? And it's still raining, and probably will be rainy all day. But hey, at least it's not 100 degrees. And we got a bite to eat. Turned out to be an IHOP. Haven't been to an IHOP in 10 years. But anyway. Had to stop over at a Walmart parking lot to get some fuses because apparently the lights on the trailer weren't working. Because, you know, trips have to be fun. I'm not going in because I'm not breaking my many years long fast of Walmart. I have better things to do. Like, yeah, sit in a parking lot. But we are over 2/3 the way there, about to cross from Oklahoma into Texas. Still making good time, even though we stopped off for about an hour to eat a bite. Crepes are definitely good. Crepes and hash browns. Didn't actually realize I was that hungry. But, yep, hopefully this fixes the problem. They tell me you actually need lights on your trailer. I don't know why. It's daytime, right? So we'll be getting to JDI down to Dave's pretty soon. This is actually my first time out of the state, out of Arkansas, at least my corner of it, Northwest Arkansas, since the coof hit back in March of 2020. So had been hoping to come down on May 1st. Instead, it's ended up being May, and it says 22nd. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of how timing worked out, but oh well. I'm sure there's wonderful things for you guys to see in the wonderful Walmart scenery. Hoping next weekend for Memorial Day can get out to the Ozark Mountains, to the cabin, and get a little shooting done. Hopefully, weather dependent. It's been crummy weather the last several days here. Thunderstorm and rain. The one good thing is it's not that hot. So, you know, not all bad, I suppose. I'm just running on very little sleep. We'll be happy to get home and hopefully rest tomorrow, Sunday. And then have a lot of guns to process, a lot of things to do. Alrighty. Hopefully our next update will be down in Dallas, Fort Worth. Which means, of course, it won't be. There'll be some other adventure. Because why wouldn't it be that way? Catch you in a few. So yeah, we ended up stopping at the IHOP to eat. We're actually kind of scouting out for like maybe a Cracker Barrel or a Waffle House. The funny thing about that part of Oklahoma, tons of fast food, not a lot of diner areas to stop. It was kind of unusual. And we came into town. I forget little town in southern Oklahoma, and there were two choices: IHOP or something called the Waffle Shop. Well, not knowing what the hell a waffle shop is, we decided to go with the safe bet, IHOP. And aside from the driver not liking his thick bacon, it was good. The crepes really were good, Swedish crepes. And I've always been a big fan of hash browns, especially the crispy ones. By the way, I like my eggs over medium. And as we were leaving, we went by the waffle shop, and the driver said, yeah, good call. Good call for the IHOP. He said by looking at the waffle shop, yeah. So that's how it goes. I like mom and pop restaurants, like mom and pop barbecue places or mom and pop Chinese restaurants or whatever. But something about breakfast places, I don't know. Some of those, especially when they use a name that's almost trying to fool you into thinking it's a Waffle House. I don't know, just kind of sketch, you know? No, well. Back to the road. So the fuses actually didn't fix it. But again, luckily it was daytime. So we had to go ahead and get into Texas with no working lights on the back of the trailer. But, yeah, it was a small trailer. Turns out there was another set of fuses in a different place in his rig, and one of those got blown. So we did fix it in Texas there. But, yeah, I wasn't about to going to Walmart. Nothing to do with the Rona. I just don't like Walmart. Screaming kids, really weird sounds and smells, and more noises. I fucking hate it. I just fucking hate it. So I stayed in the car. I'll take my chances. But yeah, by this point I was kind of dragging. The last sleep I had, I was up all that night. I did have a nap from about 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. that previous Friday, but other than that, I hadn't had any sleep all day. And I'm usually pretty good about it, but yeah, it was starting to hit me after, 3.5 hours in the car. One happy thing I can report, we actually did go ahead and make it right on over to Dave's, found him real easy. No fun adventures or obstacles. The only thing is, I put the directions to Dave's business in a safe spot, and while the driver was looking for the fuses, he tossed the papers, so we had to wing it a wee bit, but we got there, no problemo. And really the weather, it kind of rained on us a bit coming down, but it kind of stopped raining while we were there for the most part, aside from some sprinkles on and off. So yeah, it was cooperating, and really I was happy that it wasn't 100 degrees and humid, because, well, Texas at the end of May is sauna time usually, so I'll take 75, 80 any day of the week. Much obliged. In fact, tonight, a week later, I'm sitting out here and it's probably 45, 50 degrees, so I'm digging this cool weather. And as I mentioned in that clip, hoping to go shooting. That's still on the cards for tomorrow, and I bet you anything we take at least one of those Swiss guns. And with that, why don't we kind of pick up with me as we get back on the road, then I'll talk a little bit more about how things went with Dave. And again, if you'd like to see the full interview, it's over on the main Mishaco channel under interview with Dave Wagner of Sand Imports JDI. He gave us about an hour worth of his time, and it got edited down to about a 40-minute interview. So, hey, you can't say more fair, more generous than that, right, folks? And mission accomplished. We had a real good Q&A session. Didn't have a whole bunch of questions, or at least questionnaires from the Patreon, but several questions per person. And Dave really gave thought out, very verbose answers that will probably inform a lot of people. I think there will be some interesting things there, and all the guns came in, and the couple we looked at were sure interesting. So should be a lot of neat stuff out of Switzerland to talk about coming up. That'll of course be on the main channel there. Getting down here, we ended up stopping at an IHOP, and mystery narrator driver did not enjoy the thick bacon. He doesn't like them thick, apparently. And then we had trouble with the trailer lights, but got all that ironed out, and luckily we seemed to have missed the rain, as it were, and we did exchange cigars for scotch. Seems fair enough. And we got the t-shirt, and now we're returning home. So we're getting out of Texas and crossing back over into Oklahoma, and pray to God we have an uneventful trip. Give you an update here in a bit. So looking back, yeah, it was a really nice visit. Unfortunately, Dave accidentally double booked and had a conference retreat that he needed to go to with his wife, and to his credit, he did end up staying with us about an hour past when he really needed to get out there. But it did kind of put a little bit of a time crunch. But again, as you could tell from the Q&A, that didn't affect there. And yeah, he gave me a very nice bottle of scotch that he also imports, nice and peaty. It's one thing, I'm not a Scotch connoisseur, but I do know I like them that way. It's very pure, very good stuff. And there will actually be a Scotch review video coming up, probably on the main channel. And I'm trying to get a couple of friends who are more into it than I am to come over and give their expert opinion. And we'll go from there. So, look forward to that. I also gave him a model of a Swiss Air Force FA-18C Hornet. If you see my video either on this channel or the main one about Swiss planes lately, it was a new Hobby Master 172 scale die-cast release. And I picked up one for myself, and I thought, you know, he likes Switzerland a lot. He's over there. I'll get him one too. And he seemed to enjoy it. I thought that might be something kind of neat for him to put in his office. He's got a lot of neat stuff in there, including some very nice P226s, some European-only guns, like, you know, pump-action conversions of a SG-550. He had a rainbow-colored gun that was unique. I still think the pink one is even more so, the one that you saw on the main channel. Some pretty interesting things like that. And then a couple of little souvenirs from Russia, including a salt sculpture that came from my wife's hometown. It was made by prisoners, because that's what they do. The prisoners make little trinkets to sell in local shops to tourists there, and you get a little money that way. That's how things are in Russia. And he gave both myself and the driver a very nice JDI logo shirt, and my wife was washing them and said, "Hey, these are Adidas." And I thought, that takes me back to the 90s. Adidas was really big back then, but, you know, still a good high-quality brand, better than Amazon Chinese Love You Long Time brand or whatever. So, yeah, cool beans. It all went well, and he had all the firearms stacked up, so we kind of did a head count, loaded them up, just pulled the trailer right into his warehouse there, threw them in there, and got the paperwork done. And for some reason he wanted me to give him some money. I don't know why. Settled up that into stuff, and yeah, hop back on the road, as it were. Well, second fuel stop of the trip, not bad. But I have to say, the roads in Texas and Oklahoma, whew, they're particularly torn up, it seems. It's been a year since I've been on them, but my goodness, there's been a lot of bumps and bruises and just, yeah, enormous potholes. It's crazy. Kind of understanding why that bridge in Memphis ended up with that big crack, if that's how things are kind of proceeding. But yeah, so just a quick stop as we cross over into Oklahoma and whatnot. Making pretty good time, only about maybe 15 minutes behind schedule, so yeah, not bad for a trip back. Usually things kind of get delayed a little more than that. But anyway, that's what's going on so far. You know, I have to say, road trips were a little more entertaining when we were 16, 17, 18. But, oh well. So yeah, and we had to make another fuel stop there. Normal stuff. But that was about it. We pretty much went straight back up and found out you could do that drive, even not speeding, just, you know, going speed limit, and just a teensy hair over 5 hours. I don't know, 5-10 minutes over that. So we made pretty good time getting back. Got in a little before dark. And the big deal then was unloading the guns and getting them in my place. And that took a little longer. Mostly because we were tired, and also 2 of us instead of 3. And it wasn't like we were offloading from warehouse to truck. So, yeah, that's how that went down. I'm not going to talk about how many I picked up. That's neither here nor there. But I will talk about, you know, some of the models. Why not? Most prominently, there were those STGW07 editions, both a 553 SB which is the 8.9-inch barrel, and a 553 LB, which is 13.6. There were 10 SB and 15 LB. That was the entirety, and they were all contract from my store. So I picked those up. Also picked up 3 551s. Now I was supposed to get 4, but Switzerland was supposed to send Dave 25, and they only sent 20. So I gave up one of mine so he could kind of do that, and I took another pink one instead, because why the fuck not? And so only 3 551s, but you know, 3's better than 2, and 2's better than none, right, guys? You don't see many of the 551s. Those are actually not part of this March order. Those dated back to last October. And what was unique about those, for the first time, they came in with both a welded Picatinny rail and welded Doppler sights. And they were in gray-green with a steel lower. Now, the only downside, and we didn't know this till they came in, they weren't finished. And by that I mean they had the phosphating, but they didn't have the Rooflon or Teflon paint coat over it. SIG didn't have time to do that. So they need to be painted. Again, they have phosphate, so it's not bare metal. The other thing is, because the painting is the step before doing this, the rubber dust covers, the little rubber things behind the charging handle, they're not installed. Those are usually riveted on with 6 rivets. But you can only rivet those in after you've painted and let your paint dry. Now, SIG did include the rivets and the rubber bumpers in the box, so no parts missing. And what's kind of neat, I asked my wife, and she said that the phosphating they used is kind of the gray-green color, which is neat. So, yeah, got those in. Picked up some 550s, which is the standard riffle. Also picked up a few PE90s. Again, that was another exclusive dating back to a prior agreement before all this. And going all the way back to last August, another pre-order, so better part of a year, there were some 553 SBs with welded pick rail and welded Dopters again. So like the 551s, but in the 553 configuration. And I think only 10 of those came in total, and I pre-ordered 3 of them, again, last summer, long before there was even talk about imports maybe being in danger. So that was a neat one. And of course I picked up some of the 751s, the Sappers, the Swiss Arms Precision Rifle, and got the 16 and the 20-inch. He didn't import any of the 14-inch ones this time. And did that. There was a nice surprise there to kind of made up for the 551s. Originally, the 20-inchers were supposed to come in complete and ready to go, and they did. But the 16-inchers, SIG said initially they'd ship them, but they wouldn't have the gas system installed. They didn't have all the parts. I don't know if they were missing gas. I would imagine they didn't have the gas regulators. That would be the one real custom part there. But much to our delight, the vast majority of the 16-inch 751s did have the gas system. I think only the last third or even quarter were without. And of course, Switzerland will be sending those parts over just as soon as they're ready. But they were under a major time crunch. And as stated in the interview, it is sincerely impressive that Switzerland got so many guns out. I think Dave said the total number they ended up shipping him, because it ended up being slightly more, because he essentially told them, ship me any American legal semi-automatic guns you've got. And it ended up being like 640, which is more guns in one day than the entirety of guns imported from Switzerland in the pre-ban era. So that's kind of cool. Typically, Dave imports in small batches of anywhere from 10 to maybe 100. I think maybe the 553 300 Blackouts were the single biggest batch before this. Could be wrong on that, but it gives you an idea. Let's see, I also grabbed some of the 5.53Rs, the so-called Russian model that take AK mags and fire 760 by 39. That's always been a popular one, but Dave was surprised, and myself included, that was actually the first variant to sell out when he opened up for pre-orders back in March. So, probably should have grabbed more of those, but at least I grabbed some, and hope people are happy with them. One thing to note, the prior batches were black metal with green forearm and pistol grip. This batch is all black. And I've already had people questioning me on it, asking if I changed the furniture. No, fuck no. It's just how they came in. To be fair, I think the green and black was kind of an odd combo. Typically, green is paired with the gray. And then, of course, black is paired with either itself or FDE or heavy metal. Oh, let me think. What else was in there? I told you about the pink ones, the 5.50s, the PE90s. I guess that's about it. There were no 5.52s in this batch at all, and nor were any expected. No, there were 300 blackouts, but I didn't order any because I still had some. And the 6.5 Creedmoors, they're not happening. The government didn't deny the import permit for them. They just filed it in the trash can, as it were. They just ignored it. And that's why the 7.51s have that little ovular area milled out on the left side. That's where they had original markings, but then they just overstamped them. They rebarreled them back to, because they had been basically 760 by 51 NATO guns. And for Dave, they rebarreled them for the first time to 6.5 Creedmoor, and because America never approved that caliber, they rebarreled them again for 308. And that's how imports work. You can import the same gun over and over, but if you change the name on the side, the caliber, the barrel length, the overall length, something like that, you have to get all new approval. That's why the PE90s couldn't come in for a while. They weren't covered under the 5.50 import. They had to get their own approval, even though the major difference is just the name. Oh well. Opening up the guns, they all look sharp. Oh, I did get some of the standard 5.53 SBs and 5.53 LBs, not the STGW 07 editions, but just the regular, black ones. And one neat thing there, the 5.53 SB, all black with an alloy lower, but it had the Rotex flash hider, the 3-prong. And those just always struck me as the coolest damn look for a 5.52 or 5.53. What do you think? Now, I haven't noticed any of them that came in with the 4-way gas regulator. They've all had the 2-way, but I haven't opened all the boxes yet, so yeah, might be a surprise waiting for me, but I don't think so. They were pretty consistent on this here batch. So yeah, we finally got those offloaded, and my driver and I went our separate ways and crashed out that night, and have been working all week since, logging the guns in, getting pictures made of them, getting them up online, and then shipping out the first couple of batches because I pre-sold, took pre-orders for about half the inventory, setting back the second half for my use or gun broker or trading fodder. In fact, I did just trade one of the 5.51s for a Broger and Tomat APC 9K Pro, but not just any APC 9K Pro, but actually this is the craziest long name. It's called the B&T U.S. Army Limited Commemorative Edition SCW APC 9K Pro Edition. That's the one that has, for one thing, it says SCW, like the military gun on the side, and it comes with the Pelican kit. It's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to hopefully shooting it when we go tomorrow. I think I'll probably take out one of the 16-inch sappers to try it out. That seems fun. Question people ask, mags, stocks, all that. No, none of that came in this order. The next shipment, now that we're into June, will probably be magazines, including 5.56 and 308. Obviously, we don't need 760 by 39 mags because they just take standard AK mags. And then in July, hopefully we'll get a big old batch of stocks. Green and black, fixed and adjustable, and even mauve stocks to match the pink guns. I ended up getting 3 of those pink 5.50s because it's just too fucking funny not to do it. In fact, when the guy who takes pictures for me came over, I laid one of the pink ones out, but I had it in its case with the top, not latched but folded down. So he was getting ready with the camera, and I just flipped that thing open and hit him right in the face with a bunch of bubblegum Barbie doll pussy pink. And that was, sometimes you get to do fun. It was worth it right there. But it's a unique one because the pink ones were never really thought to go outside of Switzerland. SIG was doing them for the Swiss market because, match shooters, competition shooters over there. Some men, some women might want pink. Hey, to each their own, right? But when Dave said, ship me any and everything you got, they had 6 pink guns they could ship. 2 of them were PE90 marked, and 4 were 5.50 marked. But what's neat about the 4 5.50s, they have that unique mauve, purplish, pinkish furniture. The 2 PE90s, they had standard black furniture. So even though there's a few more of the 5.50s, I think they're more interesting because not only is the metal refinished, but the polymer, the mix, the plastic was molded with color dye pellets that way. So, we'll see how they do. I'm very excited to see how that performs. So, yeah, I got back. The video got shared around. Dave seemed pleased, and everyone seems pleased with their guns that they're starting to get and see pictures of. So the trip back was uneventful. We just made a straight shot back. I was doing alright to about the last hour, then I had to piss like a racehorse, but well, that's what you do. Held it in there. We didn't really want to stop at a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant, with that much cargo. So I think we were just ready to be home at that point. Kind of coming down, we were relaxed and enjoying ourselves, but after the drive and then the interview and then chit-chatting in Dave's office for a bit, it was time to get home, have dinner, chill, take a hot shower. Did I mention my neck is still hurting? And yeah, I'm not going to let the whole roads thing go. This is fucking America. We should not have roads that bad. I'm not mean like I mean like I thought we got air a few times by hitting potholes. Really, like we gotta do better, guys. Seriously, like, yeah. But it was great to get out of the state after all this bullshit of the last year. And I'm actually kind of starting to think about where I'm going to go next. It might be Houston to visit someone, or it might be Indiana. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I'll try to get out and visit someone in maybe late June, early July. Because, yeah, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try to do a couple of interviews a year. I enjoyed it. People seem to enjoy it. And there's lots of smaller, more boutique, more high-end importers and manufacturers that don't get a lot of attention, like Markle Marr, Dave Bain, even Atlantic. I don't know if Blaine would want to be interviewed, but I think it would be interesting considering how well respected he is in the community. Things like that. I would also say interview the former owner of Vector Firearms, but I think he's still in jail, so that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Maybe I can go interview Governor Cuomo in jail. That'd be nice. I'd do that. I'd do that for you guys. Because I mean, he's in jail. That'd be good. Okay, I'll shut up now about that. But, come on, seriously. But no, it was really great. It was one of those things I was looking forward to, but I was also dreading because, a lot could go wrong, and it was a whole day of my time, but it went great. Meeting Dave was great. I've known him for 5 years in a business way. It's good to do that. And I think even his wife was cool with how everything went down. So, yeah, it was just all around a great experience. Again, sorry for not doing a lot of videos on this main channel. On this personal channel. It's all I could do to keep up with the main channel, plus work this week. But things should kind of taper off in a bit. But my plans now are to hopefully get out tomorrow and go shooting out in the Ozark Mountains and just blow off some steam and rounds. I did find some 760 by 39 and 760 by 54R ammo for a decent price, so I guess that's what I'm shooting. Gee, if only I had recently picked up a gun in 760 by 54R that I could put the ammo in. Oh well. I'll try to cram it in this sapper. What do you think? This the 751 sapper. I'll try to put 54R in it, and we'll see how that works out. I'll let you know. Well, my wife probably will if I tried that. Anyway, guys, I did want to give you guys something here. So, mostly Blackbox with some clips from the road. I didn't make too many just because there's, thankfully, a pretty uneventful trip down with the lights not working and the roads and the crepes being the only thing halfway interesting. But trust me, most of my trips are more, than that. So we'll see how next time goes. But with that, I do appreciate it. Feel free to check out the various videos on the main channel. We'll be doing one on the 751 Sapper, and probably talking about the 55307 edition guns, what makes them different from a standard one, and just whatever. I try my best to have fresh content, and I'll definitely be showing off that BNT SCW limited commemorative special Uber Duber edition. So look forward to that, being able to take that out to the range. I hear they shoot really well. Alrighty, folks, if you could, as always, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And with that, this is Misha, and I'll catch you very soon next time.